As long as you obey all security directives, your safety is absolutely assured.
Nemesis Subterra, an underground adventure with a story to unearth. Prematurely shuttered before being reborn, Subterra once again invites guests to discover its secrets. The 1990s are seen by many as the golden years of Alton Towers, with 1994 being the most influential of those. Fresh from their purchase of the park, Tussauds were keen to expand on the offerings available and increase the quality by creating immersive themed areas. The overwhelming success of Katanga Canyon and Gloomy Wood increased annual visitor numbers by 820,000 and pushed the park in a new direction. Buoyed by the addition of these areas, Tussauds set out to repeat the success 2 years later. 1994 changed Alton Towers forever. Driven by the opening of not one but two highly themed attractions, the park's popularity was pushed to new levels. Toyland Tours replaced Around the World in 80 Days with a fantasy voyage, where families could sail through a vibrant toy factory full of colourful characters. But by far the biggest impact was from the legendary Nemesis. This now iconic roller coaster opened to critical acclaim and featured a style of ride never seen in Europe. Featuring a detailed backstory and intricate theming, this inverted roller coaster twisted past rivers of blood and rock walls on its journey through Forbidden Valley. Nemesis is arguably Alton Towers' most successful installation, pushing visitor numbers to 3.3 million in its opening year and becoming the resort's standout attraction. After a decade of aggressive expansion, investment began to wane in the early 2000s. Despite this, the bump in visitor numbers from the opening of 13 showed that the public's appetite for theming and storytelling was still strong. With no major addition for 2011, rumours began circulating around what Alton Towers could have in store for the following season. Plans were submitted showing an attraction building located close to Nemesis, the contents of which remained a mystery. The park began to tease the coming edition during Scarefest, with banners, roaming actors and evacuation announcements. It was clear the theme of whatever lay within would link heavily to the existing Nemesis legend. Promotional material was released the following January, announcing the attraction as Nemesis Subterra. Official construction images confirmed that the ride would feature ABC-designed drop towers. Merlin had already had some success using a similar ride system at its dungeon attractions. Despite their small stature, these drop towers offered a thrilling descent and became the finale to the dungeon experience. The project aimed to expand the Nemesis storyline, plunging guests deep into the earth to uncover an ancient terror lurking below the surface. Previous attempts to use the Nemesis name at Thorpe Park had resulted in comparisons and ultimately a muted response. However, the differing ride type and proximity to the original was expected to create synergy in that corner of Forbidden Valley. In true Alton Towers style, marketing went into overdrive, with multiple publicity stunts and Jack Osborne even being appointed Director of Fear. The stage was set, and the £5 million ride debuted on 24th of March 2012. The response to the new edition was underwhelming, failing to live up to expectations. Confused by the Nemesis name, some visitors expected a roller coaster. Others complained the ride was too short, or simply fell short of the intense horror-based experience promised. Whatever the reason, in May the park admitted that Nemesis Subterra had yet to be officially finished, and closed the ride for a series of improvements. The original building was extended using shipping containers, with the pre-show enhanced and an all-new Scare Maze finale added. The additions helped the attraction somewhat, increasing the length of the experience and boosting the scare factor, but Subterra still failed to excite the public, and satisfaction remained low. Your journey underground begins on a hill near the edge of Forbidden Valley. Waiting in the queue, guests are introduced to the Phalanx, a mysterious organisation undertaking investigations on the Nemesis site. Visitors then enter the pre-show room, and through a short video, they learn of the discovery of a nest of eggs belonging to the Nemesis creature. One of these eggs has been made safe for public exhibition in a special chamber deep below the site. The Phalanx invite you to enter one of 2 lifts to descend underground. These lifts take you to the central core at the heart of the facility, and Phalanx operatives secure guests into seats around the perimeter of the observation chamber. Once secured, it is explained the egg is alive but dormant, before the video feed is interrupted and the chamber is plunged into darkness. Suddenly the egg can be heard hatching, and physical effects can be felt before the lighting is restored briefly. Power is lost again, and the seats unexpectedly drop, revealing a large nest of eggs below the chamber above. The seats raise to the secure level, and an announcement calls for an emergency evacuation. Phalanx operatives release the restraints, ushering guests to a second bank of lifts. Relative calm returns. Just as guests begin to process what has happened, the lifts are attacked and panels come loose while smoke fills the space. The doors open and guests are released into a dark corridor filled with obstacles, smoke, and more members of the Phalanx. Upon the opening of the Smiler the following year, Nemesis Subterra no longer had to live up to expectations as the resort's newest ride. Visitors had something bigger and better to enjoy, and it settled into its place as a supporting attraction. Unfortunately, it was an incident on the Smiler that led to Subterra's premature closure. On the 2nd of June 2015, 2 trains on the Smiler collided, seriously injuring riders. In the aftermath of this incident, Alton Towers and Merlin Entertainment saw a decline in visitor numbers and resulting revenue. The park announced that 6 attractions would remain closed the following season, with Nemesis Subterra being one of these. There was no indication if and when the ride would reopen. Fans of the attraction became excited when work around the site was noticed during the 2018 season. However, the park confirmed the building was to be used for a Scarefest maze. Project 42 paid homage to its previous incarnation, as the Phalanx invited volunteers to search for a technician who held the cure to a deadly virus. After 2 years at the event, Project 42 was retired, and Nemesis Subterra was removed from the park's website, seemingly indicating permanent closure. At the start of 2022, plans emerged indicating that Alton Towers intended to replace the track of Nemesis. The roller coaster would close at the end of the season and remain closed during 2023 while work was carried out. Speculation began and rumours suggested that Nemesis Subterra may return. The park confirmed the attraction would reopen and within days revealed a new visual design. On the 27th of May 2023, guests could once again explore the underground caverns below Forbidden Valley and experience their worst nightmare underground. Born out of an ambitious plan to create an immersive themed experience for the resort, the attraction was poorly received upon its debut. Prematurely closed, then rehatched, Nemesis Subterra now lives on to entertain and thrill visitors to Alton Towers.